Hi, Kevin from Kevin's Micro Homestead blog, and I wanted to do a quick video. I'm kind of in between phases of the building project, but I'm out buying more material to do the project, so I wanted to do a video about building materials and sourcing them and where to go to find some of the things you're going to need to build your tiny house. And so yesterday I went to about 4 or 5 different places to find different types of materials and different pieces that I'm going to need to put into this project, and I wanted to show you a couple of those just so you got the idea of what it is we're using and where to get it and pricing and so forth. Now, prices are going to be, you know, approximate, because I don't know what the pricing is in your area of the country, and so there's probably going to be some variances, so these are just going to be approximate just to give you a value idea. But the building, the micro house, is 12 by 8, which is roughly, you know, 96 square feet, so about 100 square feet of floor, and with an 8-foot wall. Again, the long wall, 12 by 8, again, is 100 square feet. So you got 2 of those and 2 8-foot ends, and so you're working on you know, thinking in terms of how much coverage I've got for these different materials I'm putting into the building. So these big walls are about 100 square feet. So what this is fiberglass insulation, and it's built for 2x4 walls on 16-inch centers. And so what you have to buy is a 15-inch wide piece of material, and these are 93 inches long, so they're going to fit inside those pockets in the walls that are 16-inch by 93. And so you're in a 2x4 wall, you're looking at 3.5 inches of thickness, so an R13 will fit in that, and that's going to give you that value for your resistance in your insulation. So this bag right here was about $40, and it'll cover 106 square feet. So, you know, with cutting and piecing in some of the pockets, this is a bag that'll do one wall, that 8 by 12 foot wall roughly. And so I'm going to use that, and that's one of the forms of insulation I'll be using in the building. Another one is going to be these Styrofoam sheets. I bought these for about $8.50 a piece. They're not going to give me the R value that is, but they are going to give me, with the wall material and the dead air space and everything, I'm probably looking at about an R value of 5 or 6, which is better than nothing. And there's a particular surprise that I'm working on that's this is going to go into as part of the building material. So I'm going to use, I've got about half a dozen of these sheets that I'm going to be cutting and fitting into those same types of pockets. Let me get this out of the way. And the next material I'll talk about a little bit is house wrap. This is a 3-foot roll by 165 foot of Tyvek house wrap, and it's a you're going to put this over your sheathing of your wall before you put your trim on, and it's going to act as a wind and water barrier, although it's breathable, so it'll let your house breathe a little bit. And I think I paid about $65 for this roll, which is going to be probably almost enough to do the whole house. And then I'll show you how we apply that when we get to that point. So I also bought some of the siding I'm going to be using. I was looking for this in several places. These aren't, in my area, they're kind of hard to find, and the stuff's not cheap. It's a good clear green cedar siding, and I'm trying to find a piece that's not stuck in a bundle here so I can pull it out. But it's a 6-inch piece of material by Random Lengths that I bought, 8s, 10s, 12s, and it's beveled. So if you look at the end of it here, you can see that it's thicker here and thinner here, and it's going to lay up onto the building like that, and then the next piece will lay on here, and so you're going to have a little bit of a reveal, and we'll get into the detail of how this gets put on the building when we get to that point. But you can see it's a real nice clear material. It's a premium piece, and again, you're only covering a few hundred square foot of house in a micro house like this, so you can afford the upgrade of materials rather than going with the inexpensive stuff like you know, if you're building a whole house, it starts getting into a pretty expensive endeavor. But you know, we're building little houses and trying to, you know, have some high-end finishes to them, so that's what we're working on here. The next material I got is these are all 10-foot pieces of 1x6 tongue and groove pine interior paneling, and you can see there's the tongue, here's the groove, and this is going to be my finished wall, and it's got a nice grain to it. It's got some real tight knots on it, and so it's going to look real nice. You can finish this clear if you like, or you can put a stain on it and seal it. So it just kind of depends on your taste and the effect you're going to want to use, you know, to get finished. And we'll be using this in the building as well. And then I've got a bunch of 2x4 building studs for the building of these walls. Whole bunch of 8-footers here. Again, when you're buying wood, you want to pick through the bundle a little bit. Make sure nobody really sees you doing it at the lumber yards. They frown upon that, but you don't want a beat up board. You don't want something that's crooked. You don't want something that's got a big crown in it. You know, like if you're looking at a pool cue, you want to kind of make sure it looks nice. It's not cracked or split or a big chunk missing out of it or anything like that. You know, so you've got a nice sturdy board that you're working with. Let's talk a little bit about, in the project, I want to be able to reuse and repurpose and find, you know, good values to build the house, to save money, and to not, you know, if we can reuse materials from other projects, then we're saving, you know, cost and saving, you know, the planet, obviously, because we're not throwing things away and dumping them in a landfill. So a couple things I did is I went around looking for some windows. These are going to be some of the more expensive purchases that you're going to make. And I got a really good deal on this one. It's 4 foot by 5 foot. It's a real nice, it's a brand new slider. It's never been used. I had it at a shop, and it was like a last one type thing or something. And it's probably about a $300 window new. And they had it sitting out in front of the building when I walked up the other day. $125 or make offer. So I decided to make offer, and I offered them $100, and so tax out the door, they gave it to me for $100. That's a heck of a deal. It's a real nice window. It's a high efficiency window, and I'm going to find a place for that to live in this micro house. Another window I got from a different place was actually from a window and door store, and I walked in and asked them if they had any windows that they didn't work out for some reason, if it didn't fit the order or was mismatched, or you know, something they pulled out of another house when they replaced windows. And they didn't really have anything at the moment, but what they did have was this salesman sample window that they weren't using to sell this product anymore, so they had this left over. And so I got this for $40, and it's a really super nice window. It's not real big. It's like 2x3, and it's a crank out window. This is a slider, so the window mechanism works back and forth this way. This is a crank out window, which is a really nice window. So you can see that it operates that way. You can crank it in and out in order to get it opened up, and it's got a screen. They both have screens. They're brand new, never been used, and $40 was a steal deal again. So I found another, you know, inexpensive brand new window, and so I'll be working that into the project as well. So I just want to let you know that, you know, you got to do a little research and do a little hunting, and you know, network out a little bit to know what the materials are you're after. By all means, call several places and compare prices, because you're going to find that, you know, things can range pretty high and low, back and forth. Watch for sales and closeouts. And again, if your floor is 100 square feet, it doesn't take a lot of hardwood if you're going to put a hardwood floor down to cover that. So if you can find, you know, little batches left over from a project or coming out of another building, or maybe it's a closeout deal at a store, and you can get a really good deal on it, and that's all you're going to need. You don't need a house full. So watch for those kind of deals. I got a special surprise I'm brewing at the micro house project. Stay tuned for that. It's coming up soon, and I think you're really going to like it when you see it. I'll see you next time. Kevin's Micro Homestead.